Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy and I'm going to do a swipe on this 12-inch MDF using the Bloom recipe. So I'm laying down my black pillow paint, which is black onyx from Color Place Satin. Get it at Walmart. I really like it as a black pillow and it's pretty inexpensive, so that's a win. I do have a video tutorial below for what I usually use for the Bloom recipe if that helps. I'm going to show you the colors as I go. This is Cerulean Blue from Colourarte PrizmPour. It's a gorgeous color. Just beautiful. And the reason I didn't show you the colors all up front is because I was kind of undecided of which I would use and which I wouldn't. And next up is Turquoise Phthalo from Glidden. And so I usually use a mixture of like the sparkly and the more flat colors. It's kind of a nice balance to have some major sparkle and then some that's not. But don't forget, you can save 20% off of anything on the Colourarte website using my coupon code below, which is Mandy1120. Amazing PrizmPour colors out. There's a new primary element set out. This is Australian Red Violet from Matisse. Hands down, one of my favorite acrylic paint colors. All of my regular paint I buy from Blick, which the link is below. And if you shop through our link, it helps our channel too. And they have various promotions that go on a regular basis. This is Sour Lemon. This is a beautiful PrizmPour color. And it's super vibrant, as you can see. And I think up next is Candy Apple, which is another PrizmPour color. I wanted to use some bright colors. Look at that. It's a gorgeous color. I wanted to use some bright colors and then some of my more typical colors. With this Cool Radiance, I think is what that set is called, the most recent PrizmPour set. The colors are so vibrant that even like on a black background, they're drying really vibrant. So Saskia did a really beautiful swipe on a black background and the colors were still very bright. And that is Black Raspberry. It's also a PrizmPour color. So I was kind of inspired by her swipe to want to use some bright colors in one myself. I did voice over this swipe because I kind of fiddled with it a long time and I didn't want it to take too long. This one that is Midnight Shadow. It took me a second to remember what I used. That is one of my favorite PrizmPour colors, and it's like kind of a blue-black Prussian blue tint. It's beautiful. And I'm just adding some more Cerulean Blue. I'm trying to kind of clean up as I go instead of having a hot mess everywhere. And there's some stuff in my paint and some bubbles, of course. That's just a little bit more Turquoise Phthalo. I like to layer kind of a regular acrylic paint on the bottom somewhere and on the top. So that is Liquitex Gouache Fluoro Violet, just for a little pop of color. We're going to add a little bit more Australian Red Violet to the top. I'm going to use a black Cell Activator, and I'm going to load my Cell Activator on one of my palette knives and then swoosh it around. I'm using Carbon Black from Atelier as my Cell Activator mixed with Australian Floetrol. I buy my Australian Floetrol from Pixel Paint Designs, and there's a 10% discount code for my viewers listed below, which is Mandy10. Best price that I've found, and she ships in the United States, so excellent deal. I did run out of this Cell Activator about midway through my second swipe. So on the second one, I loaded my palette knife with this Cell Activator and a little bit of the M-Gram Lamp Black Cell Activator, just because I didn't want to have to stop and make new Cell Activator. So it ended up working out, but it was kind of a gamble. So you can kind of see over to the side where I'm putting on a pretty decent amount of Cell Activator. The composition for this one I end up really liking, but it was completely different than what I had in my mind going into it, which seems to be the story of my life. Over here I was like, great, what am I going to do now, you know? So you can see I kind of end up, my intention was to kind of swipe almost like a pinwheel, kind of swoosh out one way and then go the opposite direction and swoosh out the other way. But then when I realized how I was going to have to angle the knife to do that, I was like, well, that didn't work. So as you can see, there's one part that didn't get swiped very well. So I knew I was going to have some lines of color there. So this is Cerulean Blue. I decided instead of only having lines of color in one place, I would dip my skewer and kind of take some deliberate color around the other side so it wouldn't just look like it only happened there. So I don't know if it works in my favor or not, but it's what I did. So let me know what you think. Do you think it kind of added some interest to it, or do you think it made it weird? So this is one of the reasons I sped it up. For one, my cell activator was very thick, so as you can see, it's taking a long time for those cells to form. So every once in a while, you'll see my big head in the way while I try to break the surface tension in those places where there's too much cell activator. I'm just trying to make sure the cells come through. They will come through on their own somewhat, but sometimes you have to break up those big spaces. So now I am just kind of running the skewer in some places to add little tiny pops of color. You don't want it to be too crazy, but and I'm taking Midnight Shadow and I'm kind of doing the same thing. I tried to follow where the lines would be kind of subtle, not too crazy looking. Sorry about my head. I can see how much gray hair I have when I do that. And these PrizmPour colors are really pretty amazing. And I love kind of the balance between kind of the deep, rich, dramatic colors and the bright candy apple and sour lemon. Now we're going to take the red violet, just a couple little streaks. And all I'm really trying to do is make that kind of match that one part that didn't swipe well. My dog is being noisy because it's time for her to eat. She would like me to stop doing whatever I'm doing and feed her, which I'm sure we all appreciate that. So this one is drying really nicely. It's still pretty vibrant, so pretty excited about it. Now we're gonna add just a touch of sour lemon, not too much, but just enough because there is some right there. I thought it would be nice if there was some in both places. But I didn't want it to be too much because it's such a bright color that I didn't want it to detract too much from the rest of it. So just a tiny hint, just a little bit of candy apple, which if I recall, I don't end up putting too much either. Just a couple little lines, like little tadpole tails. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. It's kind of an interesting composition. So now we're going to spin it out. Unfortunately, we're going to lose some of those cute cells, so I am trying to tilt it a little bit so we don't lose them all. Because I'd rather lose those weird ghost cells of just black cell activator than to lose the cute little cells. But I really like the way it turns out. I mean, I at first was like, I messed up this composition, but then I was like, you know what? I like it. It's different. So don't forget to check out the description box below. I also have my Facebook group link in there and all the discount codes, of course. Naturally, Colourarte PrizmPour is the star of this show. So you can see here I am just kind of cleaning up the lines where the lines have less movement than the piece. So I'm just kind of either drawing in some motion, but I'm also trying to not overwork the piece because it's easy to do. But look how vibrant those colors are. Pretty magical, huh? So I'm going to bring you in for a close-up in just a second. I'm just doing some slight movement in here and popping a couple bubbles, of course, because that's the most time-consuming part sometimes, is dealing with all the stupid bubbles. All right, here comes the close-up. All right, everyone. So I like the way this little guy turned out. So here's our close-up. These cells here are kind of giant for me, but I didn't want to overspin and lose this over here. This top part right here is probably my favorite. Look at those cute little ghosty looking cells. So I kind of, because I didn't swipe this perfectly and I ended up with this line, that's kind of why I took the color and embellished a little bit so that this wouldn't look like super awkward and the rest of it not have any. But look at those beautiful colors. This is Cerulean Blue mixed with a little Turquoise Phthalo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful PrizmPour colors. Now, this will darken up a little bit as it dries. But Saskia did something on a dark background where some of these new PrizmPour colors stayed really, really vibrant. So that's why I wanted to try something like this. This was inspired by her. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for all your continued support. Don't forget about the discount codes, and have a great day. Bye.